Yay, we are live. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Shirley. Hey, Louise. And I think we're live on YouTube too now. Yay. How is everyone tonight? Hey, Kathy. I guess you guys can hear me. There's Swirly. Yep, she's here. Alright, guys. Let's see. I am just making sure that everything is working on Facebook. And then we'll play the intro and get started. If I can get my Facebook. Facebook has been weird today. There it is. Hey, Dolores. Hey, Tammy. Tammy's from Arkansas. Okay, guys. We're doing... This is the sunflower today. Shirley. Are you not seeing the sunflower on the screen? It should be up. That's what I'm showing. We did the dragon a couple of weeks ago. 2 or 3 weeks ago. Something like that. Hi, Jamie from New Jersey. And hey, Purple Paisley. This is the calendar. We are on the 21st. Tomorrow we are doing Freebie Friday. I have a file for you guys, free file, but I'm also going to teach you how I set up the file and how you can set up your own. So join us for that. That's going to help you learn DesignSpace in a fun way. So make sure that you're joining us on Friday. Also, tomorrow is the giveaway. I will be announcing the winner. So make sure if you have not entered that you do that today, because your time cutoff time is coming. So make sure that you are going to the pin post under the group photo in the Cricutmakerprojects or cricutcrafting with April, and you are doing using those instructions. You need to post your new Easter themed project using either a Cricut material or an Access egg image, and post with the hashtag Cricut egg hunt, and then go over to craftingwithapril.co and enter on the Rafflecopter. If you do not enter on Rafflecopter and you do not post your project, we can't find it, and Rafflecopter cannot pick you as a winner if you haven't done that. So make sure that you're doing those 2 steps. Hey, Cricut Boss. time is coming near. It's ours, and we will be announcing the winner tomorrow on our live tomorrow. So make sure that you guys are in there. We got 4 winners coming tomorrow. All right. So make sure you've got that done. And I'm just going to, I just finished cutting the project. I have had a time today. I'm going to cancel that because I've already cut that piece. I had to go in and recut my black piece like 2 times. And the reason being is, guys, this is really, really, really intricate for black paper. And I will show you when I go to the overhead what I mean by that. Hi, Carol from Northern Maine. My dad was born in Maine, so that's cool. Waterford. So, the black pieces in here, I'm just going to tell you, cut them on intricate. I had to cut mine on intricate, more pressure, but not only that, I had to change paper. I thought it might be my blade, and then I was like, no, that's a brand new blade. I changed it this week, so that cannot be it. And because of the intricate pieces right here of this black, because they're small and the cutouts are small on it, I had to switch to a 65-pound paper to get it to cut, and I will show you those here in just a minute. Other customizations that you can do to this card. This is the sunflower pop-up card, and you'll find it in the Cricut Make It Now projects. Just search for pop-up sunflower, and it should pull that up for you. I did make a couple of changes. I used the brighter yellow, but you know, use what you like, and I used an ivory. I used 2 greens, a lighter green and a darker green. And then on the pens, I used suntan instead of adobe, and I used the same dark green that they used. I'm not using hot glue, gun and sticks. You don't need that. I think that's a little bit of overkill for this card, but if you prefer that, that's totally fine. And I have not put this card together in advance, so we're going to do it together. It's another slice form type card, so they're basically all going to be going together the same way. There's just slight variations to each one. Hi, Connie. So, that being said, what else did I forget to tell you guys? Nothing. So, let's go overhead. And before I get too far into this card, for those of you wanting to know what we're doing tomorrow, I am going to be teaching you how to make this card. You can see the little butterfly floats on there. So if you want to learn, you can either get this file when I release it to the Cricut community after the live tomorrow, or you can join us and learn to set up your own card. And that's at 1. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. Now, what I mean by these being intricate, you can see how that scallops and how your blade is going to be rotating in and out there, and how small these slits are. They are actually, instead of slits, they actually did like a U-shaped or a square-shaped, rectangle-shaped cutout in them. So, my first cut, this is 65-pound paper from Michaels. And this is my 80-pound cardstock. And you can see I didn't get a clean cut. Use the same blade and same settings. So it's not the blade. It was actually the intricate part of this and the paper itself. And I tried to clean this up so I could use it and ended up tearing that piece. But you can see it just didn't cut out all of those places in there. And with this, it did. So I'm going to suggest, I don't know how it's going to assemble, but I did use the 65-pound cardstock for this. And a lot of times in the group, you'll hear us say, it might be your paper. Black paper is difficult to cut. If you're new to cutting paper, and a lot of people don't understand that the fibers in the paper are totally different. And you can see how these cut out, and I was able to get it cut. This is from the 65-pound. This was the cut from the 80 pound, and you can see it just didn't, it just kind of chewed up in some of the places. Didn't cut well. Exact same setting, same blade. So I thought, well, let me just check and make sure it's not my blade. So I did my deep cut, and it didn't cut through at all, and I discovered that I had on my deep cut blade, at some point it picked up where it was tearing the paper because of it being 80 pound and intricate. It picked up a piece of that cardstock and it stuck to the blade. So for the rest of it, it just drug through there. So if you've ever encountered this, it may not be your blade. It may be the paper, and the cut may be just too intricate for that heavy paper. So if you're running into that issue, change your paper and try it. And if it works, then you know it's not your blade. If you change your paper to a lighter weight on those intricate cuts and you still don't get a good cut, then most likely it is your blade. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Black paper cuts differently. As a matter of fact, I cut this one first and then I cut this after. That's why I knew it wasn't my blade, because I got an absolute clean cut off of this, and I got an absolute clean cut off of this, but then I cut this behind it, and I couldn't get a clean cut. I mean, in front of it, and it wasn't a clean cut. This was behind it. So I knew it wasn't my blade at that point, and that's when I swapped over to the 65 pound. So does that make sense to you guys? If you're having trouble with your cuts, check the paper, check the blade. They're two different things you have to check. And sometimes it's just the paper's too heavy for an intricate cut. This is the envelope in there, and I was going to show you guys customizing the envelope. I was going to do it to this one, and then when I had trouble with my black paper, I didn't do it. So let me pop back over there and show you a way that you can customize on this one. So the note card, I'm just going to make this smaller so we can get it all on the screen. The note card in this has this sunflower on it, and it's really pretty. And I thought, how pretty would that be on the envelope, on the flap or something like that. So if you come into Designspace and you detach that, and then you duplicate that drawing and just slide it over and then attach this back so you don't interfere with your note card, you can then come in here and contour. And you can, with that contour, you can get rid of those outlines, the square lines around it, and just be left with the flower. So I just removed these lines using contour. That's all I did, and you can get them back if you need them. But it's right there at the top, and all I did was just hide them from the drawing. Then I can either put this on the flap at the top, or either I can put it on the envelope at the bottom. You could do it center of the envelope if you're not going to be mailing and using your envelope to mail. But how pretty is that on the flap right there? And then you can just align, center it horizontally, and then attach it. And now you've got the drawing on the envelope too. And you can do that in any color ink. You can change your pen color. If you wanted to do the Adobe, you could find that one in there, right there. You could use that Adobe color on there, whatever you wanted to do to match it up to your envelope. I mean, to your card. So lots of ways you can customize your envelope and do that kind of stuff. You can also have their name written on it while you're there. Go ahead and do everything at the same time. All right. As far as changing the size, I would not go smaller with this card. And really, I would just leave it as is as far as size goes, because sometimes when we stretch things and make them larger, you can get the pop-up mechanisms out of whack and out of sync, and then they don't work if they get skewed. Okay? So just make sure that you're paying attention to that. But as far as customizing, you can write your note card right on it with your Cricut, put your text in there and attach it, and do the same with your envelope. So let's go ahead and put this together. As always, thank you to all of my supporters, my Patreon, Ko-fi, and channel supporters. And of course, my admin. Couldn't do any of this without you guys. Appreciate you. And if you have any questions, just put them in caps so that we're sure to see it, and we'll get you an answer. And if we have to go back, it does not have to be about this project, guys. Any design space questions or project questions that you need help with, please ask away. We will help you with it, and if we have to show you on screen, we will pop over there and show you. Not a big deal. And I'm just folding on all these score lines. I missed that one. It'll be okay. For the envelope, in case any of you guys haven't seen me do the envelopes before, because I don't always do them. They're all basically the same. They're just different shapes. And I'm just going to bring this in, and on the edge here to the inside, or the outside edge, and then on the inside edge over here, we're just going to put a little bead of glue. And then we're just going to pop those down on top of each other. And that's going to keep both sides of it glued without having to get too much glue in there, because if your glue is squishing out, you're going to glue your envelope shut, and you don't want to do that. This flap goes to the outside, and that's so when you're putting your card in the envelope, it doesn't hang up on that lip at the bottom. So then we're just going to put a little bit of glue on that edge. And you want to just stay close to the edge. You don't want it, because there is an opening. Let me just show you. You can see right here, you don't want to get glue in here. So again, you can go along this edge here and along this edge here, and it will be fine. Okay? That way you won't glue your envelope shut. Super easy and simple on the envelope. You guys are quiet tonight. Hey, May. May is watching. Hey, Susan. Then we have our card base, and they have a double score on that, and we discovered last week with some of these. Now, this is a dark green. If you're using dark green, it may be similar to your black in cutting, so make sure you're using intricate with this cutout on the front, okay? Intricate cardstock setting. And anybody that doesn't know how to find that, let me know and I will show it to you. And this is double score. You can go in there and use your scrapers or whatever and try to roll. I call it a roll fold or a book fold. But I discovered a trick that we showed last week, and that's not really necessary. So we will get it. We will do the same thing this week with this one. Then we have, oh, I said I got clean cuts on this. I still have some dangling chads here. Let me pull those out. Yeah, they just didn't come out on the, they cut. I just left them in there. There we go. So this is the base, and it's got a fold in it, so we're going to fold it and give that a little rub. And then this is your liner for this side of the card. And you can go ahead and place that in there on the left side of the base. You don't want to put a bunch of glue in the center there because of the intricate here. I'm just putting a little bit right around it. This one really doesn't have any floppy pieces like the last one we had, so really not necessary to glue all of that. Just gonna line that up right to the front so that we have that piece in. This piece has a score line on it. If you guys can see that, has a score line on it. You want to keep your adhesive to the inside of that. Now you can flip it over if you want and do it that way, or if you want your texture up, you can do it that way. But I'm just going to keep my adhesive on the inside of that score line. We don't want to close it up where our note card will not go in. Okay? And then we're just going to line it up on the other side and place that down. And then your note card is, of course, once it's dry, you don't want to lift it up Once it's dry, you're just going to slip that right to the inside. Okay. Let it dry first so that you're not lifting your glue or your adhesive. And then we have all of our little pieces here. And if you're following along, I'm just going to pull it up and see what they tell me. I'm going to pop over there and show you guys where I'm at. You've seen me do this before. Right here, if you have your project up, you can scroll down and then it tells you to gather your materials, fold along the score lines and the tabs of your flower pieces, which we're about to do. And then starting with the largest, you're going to slide those into the outermost slits of the green leaf pieces and glue the tabs outwards. And if you hover over, you'll see that it pulls up and shows you the photo of that so that you can see it. And this is what they mean by outermost, the ones furthest away from the center. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that one. So all of these flowers have a score line between every 2 petals, and then you have a tab at the end. And then this tab would be folded backwards. So it's super easy and simple. And then you're going to glue this tab to the back of this one, keeping your base down here even. Okay, super easy. Look at all these little black pieces are sliding around on me. I'm going to lose them. Alright, same thing on this one. Gonna fold. And I'm not burnishing these with my bone folder because they're pretty intricate and small folds. They'll create a memory as we open it up 2 or 3 times. And again, we're just going to fold all of the tabs and then glue that one. That's going to give them a second to dry before we start putting them on the card too. Now this one has the score down the center of this petal, skips one, and then down the center of that petal. Skips that one and center, skip that one and center. Just all the way around. You're skipping one and then going center of the next one. And they're all valley folds. And what I mean by that, in case you don't know, valley fold is folded this way to create that valley or a V. And mountain fold is this way. Creates that mountain. This card is in Designspace, Carol. It is a Make It Now project. If you search Sunflower Pop-Up, I believe that's the name of it. Or it might be Pop-Up. Yeah, Sunflower Pop-Up Card. And it should pull this up for you. It's already laid out and ready to cut. Hey, Leslie. So now we have all of these pieces. And we're going to start with the largest one. Make sure I get the large one. I do. And we're going to get our green leafy piece here. And we're going to take those tabs and, like they said, put it in the outermost, which is the one furthest away from the center. And then you're going to place that one in there as well. Then you can just flip it over. And I like to fold it in half and then put glue on, oops, wrong side of the tab. This side, and then fold that back. You don't want to glue over your slits there, so make sure you're putting your glue on the right side, and then fold that back. Okay, just like that. Then you're going to take the second largest one, same thing, you're going to go into the next tab, or slit that's in there, and you're going to place those in. Just going to fold it shut. Give it a good crease. And then we're going to fold those tabs over. So the back will be looking like this, and the front should be looking like this. Okay? Then you're going to take this one, and we're going to slip it in to the next slot, and then we're going to glue that one down. So far, so good, right? Everybody with me? Okay, in the next step, it tells us continue to glue the smallest one into the third slot, and then we're going to take the largest curved black piece. Okay. I'm going to pop over here because it looks like a step got missed. Okay, so now we're at this point. It says find the largest curved black piece. I guess we're going to go ahead and put those in the center. I guess that's what they're talking about, the largest piece here. That's what they're talking about. Okay, got it. I just wanted you guys to see. This is what the piece that they're talking about right here. Just going to fold those tabs back. And we're going to fold it just like we did the flower on all of the score lines. And then you're going to glue that tab. Oops. Just like that. All right. And then that is going to go into that same slot as that last flower, it appears. Da, da, da. Oh, it says into the last. Okay. So we're going to put that into the last one. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to bring that in. And fold it over. Like so. And then you have 2 hex pieces, or I had 2 hex pieces. I lost one of mine. It's okay, I have an extra over here. I'll just use these 2 textured ones that did cut properly. And we're just going to place those down to the center. You want to keep them out of the fold. Closer to the edge up here and out of that fold. I want to make sure that it still folds shut. Okay? Then you're going to get these 2 pieces. And we have a score here and here. See, that didn't make sense to me. It had me put those pieces on. Can't get to the other slit that way. I still think that went into the other score. Let's see. It told me to do that though. Doesn't matter. I'm going to leave that blank for now. I can glue those back in. We're going to work on this piece. Alright, so folding those tabs back, and then it has a score down the center, and then this one has a score down the center. I don't know how we're going to hook these in when they're covered, like they just had me cover those. I don't know how we're going to do that, but we're going to try it. Alright, so these have a slit on the bottom, and it's going to go over the top of that one. Oh. Fold that back the other way. There we go. I folded my tab the wrong way. There we go. And you're just going to slide that right over the top. It's going to create a square. Like so. Get that up close so you guys can see it. If your tabs aren't sitting like that, just fold one back the other way. So I just folded one the wrong way, but it won't hurt anything. Just fold it right back. So now we have that piece in there. And then you're going to take the next two larger center pieces, which are these. These are the next two largest, and you're going to cross them over. So the one with the slit at the bottom will have to go over the top. This one has two slits at the bottom, and that should go over the center. Just like so. And then this one, you're going to go across the opposite direction. It has three slits in the bottom. And we're just lining them up. Like so. Alright. Is everybody with me on this one? Then we're going to take the four remaining top and bottom slots. So the one with the slots on the bottom will go first over these. Did I get this right size? I'm hoping. I can't hold on to it. And then that one. Lining up all those bottom slots. Okay. Now we should have two more. And they should not have any cuts out of the top. And they're going to go across this way to lock it all together. You're just going to keep working them until you get it all lined up. Wants to be a little booger, doesn't want to slide in there, I think. There we go. I think I got it. And then we're going to do this one. Alright, and now that should fold flat. If it doesn't fold flat in both directions, then that means it's not connected properly. Okay? Fold flat, fold flat. Alright, so now they want us to slide the tabs through the piece of the same slit of the black piece through the same slit. That's what I thought. So I'm glad, let's see, glad I pulled that off because I had it too close. Alright, you want to glue these down. You want to keep them out of the center, but you don't want to block off that slit either. So be very careful, because I think I had mine too far up. I'm just going to put them back on. When in doubt, right? Still make sure that it folds flat. It does. Okay. Yeah, I had mine way up there. So now, these two pieces on this side are going to go into that same slit. This is going to be the tricky part. Get in there. This card is almost done if I can get it to cooperate. It doesn't want to give me enough room. Just taking my fingernail and kind of separating it a little bit. There we go. It'll go in, just have to play with it. All right. And now the other side, I want to make sure that it's going to work properly before I glue these two into place. Well, that's trying to be a little booger. There we go. Well, I had it and then I didn't have it. There we go. Get in there. Oops, I tore my card a little bit. Be careful when you're doing that. Pushing it down. And then you're going to make sure it closes. It does. And then we're going to glue those two tabs down. And I'm going to say glue those backwards the other way, because that's getting pretty thick. I don't guess it matters. Be totally up to you which way you glue those two, because those are the finals. Okay. So then it tells us just to glue this into the center. Now on the last ones that we did, remember I said that I cut it and it was able to lay flat easier. I don't know if that's going to be the case with this one, but I'm going to do it. This is a step that I do on my own, so if you don't want to do this to yours, do not do it. I lost my scissors. Here they are. But I found on that last card we did that it did help it lay flatter when it was opened up instead of being at an angle. So I'm just going to go in and carefully slice this green layer in half. And I don't do it prior because it makes assembly harder. You want to be careful not to cut anything but the green layer too. Hopefully that's all I'm getting here. There we go. So now I've got my green layer split apart. Just going to fold it in half. And all of these leaves, I'm going to place it center of the card, and then I'm going to glue that front piece down. While it's still wet, make sure that you pull it up to the center of the center of this panel. You don't want to come past the center of that panel. Okay? So make sure you're using enough glue that will let you slide the mechanism. Oops, I left a piece of card stuck in there. And it cut out. There we go. And I'm just going to bring it over to that edge and make sure that I have it right on the edge of that panel, and then glue that down. And you can see I'm going in there and making sure it's right to the edge of that panel. That's going to allow it to lay flatter. This one still isn't laying as flat as that last one did. But that does allow for a green space in there. So if you don't want that green space in there, you're going to have to take a marker in there, or don't cut it apart. So I'll just go in there with my Copic marker and black that out on the spine. Yes, the precision tip, you can't do without that on this art glitter glue because it will come out really, really fast. So keep in mind, on the last one you couldn't see this. On this one you can. So if you split the leaf part so that it lays flatter, you're going to need to do a black piece on that spine, or use your Copic. And I'm saying if you put a black piece in there, it's going to hinder in the folding. So either don't cut it or use your Copic marker to hide that center. I don't even know if I have my... let's see. This is my black calligraphy. So I can go in there. And all I'm doing is covering up that green. You don't want to go too heavy. You don't want it to seep through either to the back of your card. So be gentle with the ink if you're doing this. You could use your ink pad, and that's what I would do. I would use a black ink pad like Stampin' Up! Or Close to My Heart, and just black right through the middle of the card right there with ink, and then cut this in half. That way it will lay flat, and that'll still be black in there, and you won't have to worry about it. And you won't have to do it after the fact. So yeah, use your ink pads and black out the middle of the card. It's going to be hidden. And then you won't have to do that. But that worked too. So, but it's still black in there. Always away. And I didn't go heavy enough so that it seeped through. Super easy. Does anybody have any questions about how this card goes together? Now that one still doesn't lay quite as flat, but I mean it's almost flat. I like it. Looks good. Where did I get the precision tip? Carol, you can get these from artglitter.com, art glitter glue, or you can get them on Amazon. I got these actually in, I want to say, it was at Hobby Lobby, back where the bottles are with the soap dyes and stuff like that. In that section there, they have the little squeeze bottles for dyes and oils, and you can get it. Yeah, it has to be purchased separately, Carol. Let's see if I can. There's Art Glitter. Let me see if I can find the link on Amazon for them. But you can get them at Hobby Lobby and Michael's, where they have the little bitty bottles, the squeeze bottles. They have them as well. You get like a pack of 5 with the little squeeze bottles, but I don't use the bottles. I just use the tips, and they were less expensive that way. Let's see. Amazon. Let's see. Here we go. Let me see if I can get this over. Okay. I'm going to have to slide my whole window over here. And there we go. All right. I want to be very careful because YouTube is back here and I don't want to close you guys off. Right here is, and this is the way that you can get them to $5.99, and you can get 5 of the tips. Now, I do not use the pins that come with these with Art Glitter Glue because they will rust if you're not using stainless steel pins. So I'm just going to say that. Make sure you use stainless steel pins with your Art Glitter Glue because the water content in it will cause those pins to rust, and then your glue will come out rusty. It will turn the color of your glue. But yeah, these are like $5.99. You get 4 of them. And then if you go to Art Glitter, well, if I can get it to, you come over here to Art Glitter Glue. Now they're going to give you the stainless steel pen in there. It's $3.75 for 1. So you can get 4 of the tips on Amazon and then buy yourself some stainless steel pens and save yourself money. Or you can buy it from Art Glitter. And I'll give you guys this link in case you want it too. I have to bring it back over here to do Amazon, YouTube. There we go. And that is my affiliate link. So if you guys use that link, I will earn a small commission. Thank you very much. Does that help, Carol? Alright guys, if anybody has any questions that you forgot to ask, or you have a project questions that you need help with, please let us know. Make sure that you join us tomorrow. Sorry, I'm trying to get my chat. Hey, Denise. Hey, May. Hey, Dan and Donna. But we will be learning to make this one tomorrow, 1 o'clock, and doing the live, giveaway for the month of April. So that's coming. And guys, you can change the color of this flower. Even though it's a sunflower, you could still do reds and pinks and stuff like that and change this card up. It would still be pretty. You don't have to do yellow. Draw outside the lines. You're welcome, Connie. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. Hey, Jan. Thank you for joining me. I will catch you tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern time. And we will give away some shopping sprees and learn to design a step card. On Friday at 1 o'clock Eastern time, Dolores, we're going to learn to make this card. I'm going to teach you guys how to set up a center step base, and you can put your own goodies and your pretties in it, but I will share this file. I foiled this one. You don't have to foil. You can draw, but I will share the file that I did on this, and we will show you how to make your own, and you can put your own designs to it. Okay? That way you'll have a base that you set up on your own. Hey, Sue. You snuck in on me. I missed you coming in. Oops. My Siri is trying to talk to me now. Alright, guys. Thanks for joining me. Please leave a comment down below and tell us where you're from. Give a thumbs up, likes, share. And I'll catch you all tomorrow. Happy crafting!